I'm Toby Hunter and this is my 16.3 presentation. So my aim for the session was to improve my participants' batting, throwing and catching, and I had three objectives. First was for 70% of the participants to be able to catch 3 balls in succession. Next was participants to all be able to throw 3 balls accurately in succession. And the third objective was 70% of the participants to be able to hit the ball 3 times in succession. This is my risk assessment, my warm-up, my first activity, my second activity, and my conditioned game, my cooldown. So I don't feel that I reached my session aim, and that's because I didn't reach the third objective. I don't feel 70% of my participants were able to hit the ball 3 times in succession. So my strengths, the planning strengths are self-reviewed, so what I feel are my strengths and weaknesses, and my delivery is my own reflection and also my observer's reflection. So I feel like my strengths were that I overplanned or planned in detail. I planned for the involvement of my participants. I had good planning of the transitions between activities, and with delivery I had clear instructions that I gave, clear instructions and demonstrations. I had a positive body language, I gave praise and motivation, and I identified the risks to the participants. My weaknesses in planning were my variety, everything was a bit the same, and teaching points. I didn't plan enough teaching points. With my delivery, confidence, involvement when I wasn't leading. I didn't clear up when an activity was finished, left till the end of the whole session. Technical teaching points, I didn't give any of them, and my control of the group. So opportunities and threats. So one way I could improve my confidence would be going on to a public speaking course. This could be done at the College of Public Speaking, which is in London, and they offer a 5-day intensive course, which costs £1,500, and it will help my confidence as it will force me to talk in front of people, do a lot of public speaking within the course, and therefore I'll be better at being able to lead a session, being able to talk to the kids, tell them what to do, as I've had that training. Another thing I could do, another opportunity would be around a specific course to improve my knowledge of the sport, be able to give more technical teaching points or technical praise. This could be a UKCC Level 2 coaching course, which is where I'll learn all the teaching points needed for rounders. I'll be educated on rounders as a sport and how to teach that to younger kids. This course will be run by Rounders England and it costs around £319. Another opportunity besides courses to help confidence and my knowledge of specific sports would be observe. I could observe qualified coaches and look at how they get involved when they aren't leading or when the participants are in their activity, see what they do, how they lead it, and I could try and take away 3 or 4 things for what they do and then input it into my own sessions. So I could do this at a local primary school. I could go to a local primary school and ask to observe sessions, or I could do it at a local rounders team or any sort of sports team. Threats, so these are things that will hold me back from doing these opportunities. So the cost, so how much money it will cost, so £1,500, quite a lot of money, and the time. Do I have to actually have the time to be able to go and do these courses? Some can be up to 8 weeks. Transport, I can't drive, so especially the public speaking one that's in London, I'd more than likely have to get the train up there. So that could be a problem. Transport. The location, which is linked to transport, so if they're really far away, such as London, it might be hard. And for the observing one, especially primary school rejection, if primary schools don't want me, or even teams don't want me there to observe, then that will be hard for me to get the observation in. My three main strengths, so I planned in detail, so basically I planned lots of activities to do just in case one didn't work, or because I only had to carry out 2 with the condition gamed, I had 5 at least. It's 5 warm-up plans, 5 activity plans, 5 cool-down plans, so this helped me keep to my time, so if something that was really quick, much quicker than I expected, I had something else to do, I could set that up really quickly. Because I planned in detail, I had quick changeovers from each activity because I knew exactly what I was going to do, exactly what I needed to do, and it made it more enjoyable for the pupils because they had lots to do. Clear with instructions and demonstrations, which is key, I think, when I was teaching year 5s, so that's very key, because they're much younger, they might not understand if I'm not clear with my instructions and demonstrations, so having them really had a good impact on my leading of the session, because it meant I spent less time telling them what to do and they had more time actually doing it and improving in themselves. And praise and motivation. So when a student did something good or when they did something right, I gave them praise and I motivated them. Maybe if they weren't doing so well, motivated them to do better, or motivated them even more if they were doing well. And I think that's really good, had a really good impact on the session, as it meant the participants were more willing to get themselves involved. They wanted to do the session more because they were getting praise when they did things right, and it also meant that they improved more. They knew when they were doing something right and they could maybe do that again. My first area of improvement, so I think my main weakness was my control of the group. I found it really hard to have control over the 12 kids that I ended up having, and this lack of control ended up with sometimes some kids taking advantage of that and messing around when I was helping with different people in the group, or when I was explaining a different group, or when we'd just finished one activity and we're moving on to the next one, there'd be some messing around, some play fighting, whatever. And my development plan, I would go to a local primary school, really near where I live, and ask to take 2 sessions of children a week. I'd ask to lead around 5 students for the first week, and if I could lead the session with 2 or fewer participants messing around or disrupting the session for more than a minute, then the next week I'd ask for 10 students and I'll do 2 sessions with 10 students, and then my aim would be to, within the month, be able to lead a class of 25 students with 2 or fewer disrupting the session. So that would really prove that I can have control over a group, really good control over a group, and I could then lead sessions with kids that I don't know and be able to control them, and it would make my sessions run much smoother, and be more enjoyable for the participants that don't mess around in the first place. It'd be much more enjoyable for them. My second area of improvement was my technical praise and my technical teaching points. The praise and motivation that I did give was more generic, just like well done and good job and stuff like that. Whereas I didn't really get into the technical side of things because I wasn't really confident on the sport. I didn't say if they did a good technique with their batting, I didn't praise them on that, like say well done, that technique was very good, or the way you held your hands for that catch was very good, do that again. And this made the session a little bit less meaningful. There was less meaning to the whole session overall. And it was harder for me to judge whether they were successful or not. So my development plan with this would be to take the UKCC Level 2 coaching course for rounders within the next 3 months. Because this course is a very long one, it takes up to 8 weeks to complete and costs around £319. So I'll take this course and it will teach me all the key teaching points of rounders and how to teach them effectively. So that will mean I can then go back and have a rounder session. I'll be able to tell the participants what they're doing well, like specifically what they're doing well, and I can bring them in, tell them where they need to improve, and it will bring more meaning to my session. And my target for that course would to be come away with at least 10 teaching points over various parts of rounders, so catching, throwing, batting, position of fielding, where you want to hit the ball. And a final area of improvement was my involvement when I wasn't leading the session. So I did the session with a partner, and when she was leading the session, I wasn't involved as much as I could be. I was sort of just walking around giving my praise and motivation. I sort of let her do all the technical stuff. And also when they're doing the activity, I wasn't as involved as I could be, and that led to me being coming across as a less professional coach. And if I wanted to look like a qualified coach or become a qualified coach, I need to be involved all the time. And my development plan for this would also, like this first one, go to a local primary school, when they're doing their rounders lessons, or go to a rounders team training and observe the coaches there, especially if there's 2 or more coaches that are coaching each session. I'll look at how they are dealing with participants, or how they're involving themselves with the participants when they're not leading, or when the participants are in their activity. And I try and watch 3 sessions and come away with 5 new ways of involving myself in these circumstances. So I'd lead more sessions once observing 3, and try and integrate these 5 ways that I've learned into my sessions. And if they didn't work for me, I'd go back and try and observe some more. And that's it.